Hi everyone, this is James Tennant here, and today's little session is just going to be the finish off of our training session from earlier this week. So the intention here is to just take you through the actual Plant 3D tools and not really worry. We've already sort of had a pretty good talk about the Vault client interface. We're going to spend a little bit of time now talking about how Plant 3D actually works. And how it works with Vault. We're not going to talk about how Plant 3D works. So to do that, we're going to start off with creating a new project. Now, as I mentioned in the training, everything we do in Plant 3D, or everything we do from a Vault Plant 3D point of view, should really be done through Plant 3D. So you shouldn't be going into Vault and try and open up a drawing from within Vault or whatever it is. It should all be done through Plant 3D. So 99% of your time is going to be in Plant 3D working on the drawings or working on the models, whatever you're working on. You shouldn't be going to Vault Client for anything too much in particular. So that being said, let's talk about how to create a new project. I'm not actually going to create a new project. I'm just going to take you through the steps. So when I'm in my project manager, as you saw before, let's just do that a bit slower. I find new project and I select on that. Once I click new project, I give it a name, so I'm just going to call it test project 1, whatever you want to call it. Enter a description. It's optional, you choose whatever you want to do, and tick the box for create this project in Vault. What you'll notice is the local working folder is then grayed out because it actually wants to put that project in the Vault working directory, which is exactly what you want. After that, you've got some copy setting options, which is no different to normal. Continue through. Again, this all should be pretty familiar to everyone. We continue through until we get to this dialog box, which is the only thing that changes really from a Plant 3D point of view. Now, we had a bit of a discussion at GHD, and we decided the best option would be to create a Plant 3D specific instance of SQL, and that's basically what I've done. To access this Plant 3D instance, we type in POC-ADSK-001 / Plant Vault, and that's the instance name, Plant Vault. Now, basically what that's going to do is it's going to connect to that SQL instance, and it'll basically allow you to create that. You need to give the database a name, which is nice to give it a good name, so like test project 1. You can give it the same name. Alternatively, you can just allow SQL to generate its own name, and that'll just fill in whatever you want. This is completely invisible to the end user, so it doesn't matter really what you put in there. It's completely invisible. That's why I just choose the generate name, and you can see, it means nothing to anyone. So that's good. So that's the only thing that's going to change for you. Leave this on Windows Authentication. Just leave everything like that. Make sure you type in like this, Plant Vault, and give it a database name. After that, click Next, and that will give you one last dialog box where you can select Finish, and that will create your project for you and put all of the information you need for that project into Vault. Now this may take a minute or two because of the process of creating all the files and the database links and all the things that it needs to do, but give it a second. It'll create everything that it needs to create and finish off. So that being said, again, one last dialog box after this, and the only option on that dialog box will be Finish. Select Finish and wait for it to create the project. Now, that being said, your colleague may have created that project, but if you need to be able to open up that project and you want to collaborate on the same project that your colleague has just created, all you'll need to do is head over to your project manager and choose the Open from Vault option. In the Open from Vault option, you'll be able to see any plant project that you've got available to you. And in my case, I've got one plant project available to me in the Vault, and I choose Open on that. What this is doing now, and again, I'm coming in from the colleague point of view. This is actually just going and making sure that I've got all the data that I need in my local workspace. This will happen the first time you open up your project, but essentially it will just keep itself up to date after that. But that's what it's doing. It's essentially downloading all those files, whatever files I need, into my local working directory. Although you wouldn't know it, it does it pretty quick, and you don't really have to worry about it again. From this point, it's no different to any other. So I can see that I've got some drawings, I've got some related files, and blah 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 blah. If I need to make a new drawing, it's no different to normal. I click New Drawing under the P&ID or Plant 3D side of things. Let's make a new area, Area 4 for example, and let's choose OK. Once I've created that new area drawing, I've then got the drawing, and I use everything exactly the way you'd be using it in normal situations. So I go through, let me just change my tool palette here to be relevant. Let's go to P&ID, and let's go ahead and just put in some lines, whatever you need to do. Once you're happy with what you've done in the drawing, and you might go and put a whole heap of stuff in there, but you might now be happy with the drawing. If you want to go and share this drawing with everyone else, and obviously you're in a collaborative environment, you want to be sharing all your data with everyone so that everyone can see what you're up to, head over to the Vault tab again and choose the Synchronize to Vault tool. By selecting the Synchronize to Vault tool, you'll be able to basically send all this information up to Vault. Any changes that you've made to the databases or the project files or anything like that will all be synced back up to Vault, meaning that everyone else will then be notified in some way, probably via a status icon will be the most obvious way, but they'll be notified that their drawing is no longer up to date. At which point that person can hit the Refresh from Vault tool, and that will then go and make sure that everything on the Vault is the same as everything in my local directory, as you can see. So that's basically it. This is the best part about Plant 3D integration. It's actually really simple. As I enter information into here, all I'm doing is I'm just basically doing the work that I would normally. So as I go through, let's go and assign a tag to that. Let's go and say let's just go and choose some stuff. Place a pipeline tag, and so on. As I said, everything is the same when you're working in Plant 3D. The only difference is you're hitting the Synchronize to Vault button from time to time to send all that information up to Vault so you can all collaborate on the data. Very, very easy way to work. And, by the way, see how this guy here, every time I hit the Sync to Vault button, it still leaves it checked out to me. This is to be expected because I'm not wanting to finish my work, I'm just wanting to share my work with everyone by using the Sync to Vault tool. If I am done with it, and this is very important that when you are done with your drawing, you select on the drawing and you choose the Check-in button. You can do this by clicking the Check-in button that I just selected, or right-clicking on the drawing to choose the Check-in tool. As you can see, it's now checked in, and my Project Explorer, Project Manager, is now got every drawing in there all checked back into Vault. If I need to access any of these drawings, I can double click on them. I'll get a checkout dialog box which allows me to check the drawing out and start working on it. And this is absolutely the same as what you'd be expecting in any other situation. As you can see, let's go and synchronize that to Vault, and basically all this is doing is just adding stuff to Vault as I go through. It's a very, very simple workflow. Right click at the end of the day or at the end of lunch or whatever you're doing, check it back in, and that will check all your documents back in. You can actually see that sometimes it leaves it on your model space, and that's because of the DWF creation, but that's okay. That's it's not a big deal. Again, I'm just going to go over it one more time before I finish up. Refresh from Vault will grab all the data that's changed between your local workspace and someone else and the Vault. essentially. So when someone clicks synchronize to Vault and they upload changes to the Vault, you then click refresh from Vault, and that will download any of those changes that that person has made to your project. So this is a really, really easy way to collaborate. There's only two buttons: synchronize to if you've made a change, and refresh from if someone else has made a change. You can then, if the document is still checked out to you, you can see that in a status icon next to the drawing and check it back in. Revising, all that sort of stuff, show XREFs in use, this is all exactly the same as what it is all the rest of the time. If you need to reference things in, do so. Don't worry about it, it's going to work. Everything in here is going to be the same. The only difference is synchronize and refresh. So that's basically it. As you can see, it's a very, very simple process. If you do have any questions, please ask, because we want to make sure that this is all up and running, working properly. Hopefully you won't have any trouble with that SQL instance. I have created it and I did test it before I left, so it was working. It was working quite well before I left. So I'm pretty confident that you won't have any trouble with it from now on. So give it a go. As I said, it's all running pretty good now. Thanks very much for your time, and again, I'm going to apologise that I couldn't show you this on the day, but this is the next best thing, or this is the best I can do. Thanks very much, and see you next time.